This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, welcome to Icons and Circles. This is Consul Annette Ablan. For tonight, we have a very interesting young lady who is very much involved in sustainable agricultural programs. And I'd like to ask her to share with us her advocacy on the healthy soil and better farming. So let's welcome Magella Villaroman.
Thank you, Consul Annette, for having us here. And we're very excited to share our news with your audience at the Global News Center.
Well, yes, we were just talking the other day, no? Because there's certain projects in the agricultural industry that we wanted to come up with. And fortunately enough, I met you. And I found out so many other new technologies that could help farming, the farmers also, no? And I think the latest project or the latest product that you have is with regards to making the soil healthy first before planting whatever crops that you have.
Right. We're very fortunate because this is the time when President Duterte has actually given directives to improve our agricultural industry. And so the first thing we needed to understand is how much land space do we have in order for us to be able to compete globally. And we learned that there's only 11.5 million hectares of land.
And most of that is in Mindanao?
Yes, because they have the best weather. But also, it's only 6.5 of agricultural land. 6 is mainly for pasture. So how do we increase our productivity when it comes to our crops? So that's how we began our journey. First, it would be understanding what kind of soil do we have? What do we lack? What nutrients? And then that's through soil testing. And so the Bureau of Soil and Water Management would do that. And then understanding what crops would be compatible for the soil. And then moving really a shift from using just straight fertilizer, maybe understanding how we can do it more organically. But of course, if we want to compete, it doesn't mean we're competing with fertilizer. We can still help partner, but find a way really how to improve the natural farming. So we engaged UPLB, ERI, UP Los Baños, the Institute, the Rice Institute,
the
ERI, then the Fertilizer Pesticide Authority. We're very fortunate that Dr. William Dar, who was the former Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, spearheaded Inang Lupa, which is a movement that puts together all the experts, including the farmers themselves. So 2 days ago, President Duterte awarded him the TOEFL Awards, which is the 10 outstanding Filipinos, and focused on agriculture. And I work closely with Dr. Dar as his ambassador for Inang Lupa. They were all about healthy soils.
Okay, so this is your advocacy.
Yes. So with the advocacy, we're now trying to reach out not only for public land, but also to private landowners. Because
private big landowners.
Yes. You know, one of the problems that we've encountered with the soil would be monocropping. Monocropping means like, let's just plant banana, let's just plant coconut,
or
sugar cane. So what happens over the years, it depletes the soil of the necessary nutrients.
And all this,
And so 10 years of that, your community will lose the soil and it will be dead forever.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So imagine if we're able to help the monocropping industry by implementing some of the natural way of farming by, including already the natural organic minerals while they plant. And then teach them some of the techniques to do intercropping, so you're just not planting one thing. And that's what we call in the Philippines the bahay kubo.
All right.
So you plant all the vegetables in the song bahay kubo. So you have the tomatoes, the eggplant, the pechay.
Around the bahay kubo.
Yes.
All right.
So it kind of stimulates the soil, and it doesn't deplete the minerals in 10 years. Plus, it's an additional livelihood for the farmers. Now, in this video, as you can see, we've undergone about 2 years of testing. And it's remarkable how we were able to demonstrate this plot without any of the minerals and the techniques that we
That's a
teach.
T1,
T1, yes.
As compared to the next one.
Yes,
which
all
is
of
the
this
T2.
now has a combination of the natural minerals and also the, let's say, how do we water the plants. It has a different degree for each of the plots.
All right.
And doing that for 2 years with vegetables like pechay, we did with lettuce, we did with rice, with corn, and then working with the farmers to really understand what their challenges are, we were able to develop now the accelSPROUT.
All right. And accelSPROUT is a soil enhancer.
It's more than that.
All right.
accelSPROUT is a business accelerator for agriculture. So what does it mean? I think if we want to look at the world, we get affected by climate change. And we also get affected by the lack of food and water.
Yeah.
So in agriculture, you start understanding what are the demands of your, let's say, region, that you share the same weather, share the same catastrophe. And so we find partners in the international community and also the local government here, and we now equip our clients on how they can proceed with, let's say, post-harvest facilities, or tractors, or roads. And that way, it really becomes, instead of importing, we can position ourselves for exporting food. That's how accelSPROUT was born.
All right.
And we have-
accelerator in the business sense of
Yeah.
well, the farming.
Yeah,
or-
because who would know? Like me, when I started, I didn't know anything about farming. I just love to eat.
All right.
And eating for me is like, because see, when I moved here from San Francisco, you get used to healthy, natural food. And I noticed that everywhere
More
you
so
go.
the millennials right
Yeah.
now, they're more health conscious. So
Yeah. So then when I came here, I observed there's many chains, restaurant chains, and the vegetables, they're kind of like, flappy or wilted. So just talking to some people and then finding out more about the agricultural world, it actually is not so big. So President Duterte was a star when he said, let's take care of agriculture because it's about food.
All right.
And that's why I got into it, and bringing the management strategy that I've been doing for companies, we decided to do accelSPROUT.
All right. And these are products, the one we see on
Yeah,
on
that's
display right
lettuce.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look how healthy and robust. No pesticides, by the way.
All right. So, okay, you start by testing the soil.
This one is no minerals. It was just a natural way of taking care of.
Yeah. So.
That's what we have in the market.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, it looks so yagit. Okay.
Yes.
Compared to the other.
Yes.
With the products with that has the accelSPROUT.
Yes.
Is that what you call?
We call it sprout.
Sprout.
Yeah.
All right.
So sprout minerals because we tailor it to the Philippine soil. And the good thing is, some of the people in the agricultural world already are aware, but they don't know how to use it.
Okay.
It's easier for them to just buy or get the regular fertilizers.
Yeah.
And because there's panic to meet the demand. So slowly we've been trying to educate the farmers, but it's a shift in the way they think.
All right.
Because you will save on waters, because it has a capacity to hold the water,
The moisture of
Yeah.
the soil. Yeah.
and then it has the capacity to hold the nutrients, and so you save on your fertilizer over time.
All
And then you improve your soil after applying, let's say, over a year. So you increase your planting season.
All right.
So let's say rice, you plant
Okay,
twice.
So with the product that you have, which is called Sprout.
Yes.
Okay, you condition. First, you test the soil.
Yes.
Because you were telling me that this part is different. The soil of this
Right.
district or region is different from
Yes.
the next.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to test the soil to find out how to adjust
Yes.
the
What minerals
supplement
are
or-
we missing?
Okay.
You know, so there's about 16 minerals that the soil needs to be healthy.
Okay.
And most of the time, we just apply nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus.
All right.
So, you know, when we understand what the soil needs, we understand also how to apply the soil conditioner called Sprout. And we have leading experts that can train the farmers on how to apply. The good thing is, they just apply it once.
What do you mean once?
Once.
On the soil?
Yeah. Unlike, you know, because people are probably thinking, oh, it's going to be more expensive because we're already spending for seeds and fertilizer.
Fertilizers, yeah, water, supply,
Yeah.
all that.
And those are challenges as is.
Yes.
So, but practicality, it's not as expensive. It's probably just a peso more, but your yield doubles and triples. Like our pechay, it was 467% increase.
467, almost 500%
Yeah.
increase. All right.
And if you think of it in kilograms, right? When you buy in the market, you buy those little pechay like that, it's already 35 to 40.
Yeah. Especially now after all these typhoons, you know.
Yes.
It's the price of gold already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also educating the farmers because we will not advance as a country if majority of our people are the poor. And when you look at the demographics of our country, they say the poorest people are the farmers. So we found out
The
before
most
they plant.
hardworking and the
I know.
poorest, yeah.
And then the average age is 57. And the young people, they don't want to farm because why will I be a farmer if I'm not earning anything? I'll just earn 8,000 a month. Pesos.
Yeah, that's why the farmers want to send their children to to have a college education, so they don't have to undergo
Yeah.
what they're experiencing.
Or working for BPOs and call centers.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So then what happens? They all come to Metro Manila. And then we have the congestion of the traffic.
But again, nobody wants to farm because
Yeah.
of the difficult conditions. And,
Yes.
All right.
So we started also partnering, let's say, with Caritas, you know, so they do some values formation. We started to, through Dr. Dar, get involved with different organizations like the National Convergence Initiative of the Department of Agriculture. And we reach out to the farmers.
All right.
So we start to educate them really about financing, accounting, agribusiness, and like Go Negosyo.
Okay.
It's spearheaded by Joey Concepcion.
Yeah.
And Toto Barcelona, who heads the youth and TREPS farmers, started to put together a program now for the young.
If I'm
And
not mistaken, that has something to do with cassava also.
yes, and onions.
All right.
So it really depends on what soil
Okay.
we're looking at. And we can't think of just rice. Because honestly, even though we're rice eaters,
Yeah.
the farmers don't earn anything from rice. We import the rice from Vietnam because it costs them only 7 peso per kilo.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, it's 16 peso per kilo
More than double.
of pala, yes. That's the cost. So until we're able to get the post-harvest facilities, we're not going to be able to lower down the cost. So what we're trying to do now as accelSPROUT is teach more scientific and innovative ways of farming so your cost would not really increase more than the 16, but you can double your yield. So you earn some money. And then hopefully that whole movement of Inang Lupa, the Go Negosyo, Young Entreps, will also run in parallel that shape up the whole agricultural world. And we're very lucky we have Senator Cynthia Villar. We kind of call her the godmother of agriculture.
Really?
Yeah.
So aside from agriculture, it has the entrepreneurship programs, you know, livelihood projects.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing how she thinks things through. And she already allocated money to TESDA in order for TESDA to develop farm schools. And supposedly, if you're a
For
farm,
the rural areas.
yeah,
You know? Yeah.
if you're a farm, as long as you have a classroom style, you can engage your neighbors, the barangay, you know, to learn about farming. And then,
Are the new tools available also for farming?
yes.
All right.
So that's part of her,
Advocacy also.
yeah. Plus, of course, she supports the agri-industry. So let's say if we form clusters, let's say Ilocos Norte. Ilocos Norte would be great when it comes to, let's say, the cacao planting. And it could focus really its efforts for export.
Yeah. First for local consumption. And
Yes.
export. I understand that Davao is doing very well with their cacao production.
Yes.
It's very popular nowadays to have that Davao
Yeah.
chocolate.
We work with the cacao producers of the Philippines.
All right.
And, you know, there's such a demand in the Philippines, but worldwide. Let's say, for instance, your Nestle. How much do you need? They can't even find farms anymore. So what happens is, once they collect all of their contract farms, they send this outside the country, and then they sell it back to us as
Finished
chocolate.
product.
Yeah. But then we found out there are ways that we can come up with post-harvest facilities.
Post-harvest facilities.
Yeah. And this would be pretty much like, you know, the cacao, how they would, let's say, separate the skin.
Yes.
Yeah. Or we're very lucky that we have foreign investors coming now to the country, like, you know, Saudi Arabia,
Yes.
focusing efforts, Russia. So we'll see. Maybe Belarus, Consul.
All right.
Right?
Yeah, well, like the recent meeting of President Duterte and President Putin, you know.
Yeah.
They were saying, we're going to buy 3 billion worth of agricultural products.
Yeah.
So right away I was thinking, which ones can we export?
Cacao.
Cacao.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I think we'll keep the rice. Yeah,
For
but
sure.
I think the cacao, if that's I would feel one of the leading, and dragon fruit.
Yes, which we have a lot in
Yes.
All right, we'll just have to take a short break
Okay.
and go on with our discussion.
Thank you.